Okay, and with Peter Corbett, or should it be Matthew?
It's a good question, that actually. As a matter of fact, I'm confused about that because my real name, and the reason that the police siren is going is they're probably coming to arrest me. My real name is Peter, but when I was at drama school, there already was a Peter Corbett, so I became Matthew, and I've been Matthew for the past 45 years. But now I'm Peter again, so I'm really confused. Can we move on?
We can certainly move on, but talking about moving on, you've got a new show coming up, 50 years, with your hand up a bear's bottom.
Well, now, actually, if you look at the actual wording, it's 25 years sticking your hand up Sooty's bum. Now, the reason, and I know it's a little bit risque and a little bit rude, but when my father first started, he'd been doing this business with Sooty for about 5 years, and he knew he'd arrived when one day he and my mum went into a shop which sold bathroom fittings. Why do I remember that? And this little boy came up to my dad and he said, Mister, he went, yes. He said, I know what you do. And my dad said, what do I do? He said, you stick your hand up Sooty's bum, don't you? And my dad just thought that was the moment when he realised that, he really had hit on something that, people actually knew. This little boy knew exactly. He'd worked it out. He probably knew that Santa Claus wasn't... Oh, careful, he mustn't say things like that. Anyway, it's not actually a brand new show. It's a talk. It's a talk with visual aids, and that's what I'm really proud about, is the fact that we can show clips of the stuff that I'm talking about, and we do. I did it about 4 years ago, and we did it in Lymm for Lymm Festival. We did 2 nights, and it sold out completely, instantly sort of thing. So I've been prevailed upon to do it again, which is fine, except now I've got to get the old grey matter, which is now 4 years older than it used to be, and I have to relearn the speech, which I'm not very impressed about, but it's for Lymm Festival, and so I'm looking forward to doing it. It's happening on February the 28th, 2013. It's happening at the Lymm Hotel, which until 2 days ago was news to me, but it is the Lymm Hotel. It is not Statham Lodge, it is Lymm Hotel. It's called 25 Years Sticking a Hand Up Sooty's Bum, and it is not for children, I must stress, although I'm not allowed to operate Sooty legally because I've sold it. But he does feature very heavily, and I have permission to do this particular show, which is suitable for, festivals and possibly cruise ships. So I'll be pleased to do it, and I promise that I will relearn the words and all the interesting stories. There are lots of interesting stories, but the reason that it's not for children is because some of the stories are pretty grown up. I mean, is this censored? Where will this go to? You needn't print this, need you? But let me just give you an example. When I was lucky enough, and I am going to shamelessly name drop in the speech, because I've met many show business people, but I became reasonably friendly with George Harrison from the Beatles, and I went to George's house one day, and we were just messing about in his studio, and he said, oh, before you go, Ringo wants your autograph. And I said, you're joking, what? Ringo Starr wants my autograph, this is ridiculous. And George said, yeah, but then Ringo's fucking mental anyway. So that's a sort of backhanded compliment, and those are the sort of anecdotes that I'm going to tell. I'm going to start with the beginning, how it all started, going right through to when my father had to stop through ill health. Then he sort of wanted to make a comeback, and there was a little acrimony between he and I. Anybody that saw the show before, it's the same, but this time we can talk about Jimmy Savile, because I worked with Jimmy Savile on the Russell Harty chat show, and yes, I did know. So that will be touched upon, if you'll pardon the expression.
I think you've guaranteed a sellout now, Peter. I mean, the reason I touched on 50 years is because your father actually performed with Sooty for 25 years, yeah. And I think you did as well.
Yeah, so that's quite extraordinary. It wasn't planned that way at all, but it's quite true that my father started in 1952, and I can't do the maths, but if you work it out, and he did 25, and I did exactly 25 years, we both had our hands up Sooty's bottom for the same amount of time. And I don't regret one moment of it, to be honest.
Do you miss your furry friend?
No, not really. No, In a sense, I do. I mean, I'm not as romantic as my father. My father did find it very difficult when Sooty was removed from his hands. But he was very much a romantic, and I was more of a businessman, more interested in the bums on seats and turnover and margins and employment and all that sort of business. My dad would have been happy to perform in a room with 5 people in it, never mind 5,000. He just wanted to be the man operating Sooty, and I was sort of a little bit more interested in making money.
And what's Sooty up to these days?
Well, I don't know, because I sold him to a Japanese bank, and again, that's touched on in the talk. It was called the Bank of Yokohama, who paid quite a lot of money. And the distressing thing was, as was reported in a cartoon in the Sun newspaper, they only sent out for somebody to go and buy some sushi. Come on, catch up. These are the jokes, and these are the jokes that we're going to be doing in the talk. I mean, that's a belter, that one. But what I'm very pleased about is these video clips which show, like, my dad, when he was only 38 years old, when he first started doing Sooty. They showed me when I had a waistline and snake hips when I was 27 years old, when I took over. Right up to my finishing moment where, when I finished with Sooty, Jerry Marsden was the Jerry and the Pacemakers. He was the guest. And I'd been with Jerry on the very first Sooty that I did. So 25 years apart, Jerry and I had basically just been big kids and laughing uncontrollably. And if you come and watch that talk, if you don't laugh at the clips that I've got of Jerry and I on television being paid to be grown up, if you don't laugh, there's something definitely wrong with you, because it is hysterical. I laugh every time I see it. And I know what's coming next.
And a reminder of the date of the show?
If I'm available, February the 28th. I know this because my wife's birthday is February the 27th, and she won't let me forget that. So February the 28th, which I think is a Thursday.
Correct.
It's a Thursday, and it's at Lymm Hall. And
Lymm Hotel.
Lymm Hotel. And the ticket prices, Gary, are...
I've no idea.
I think...
£10, is it?
I think it's £10, but you should refer to the website. Now, the website is lymmfestival.org.uk and then /Sooty. You'll find it there. Anyway, I hope to see you there. Well, I hope to see somebody there. I hope everybody that watches this will come and see me. And if you miss this, you can read all about it in Lymm Life.
Okay, Peter. Thanks for your time.
And thank you.